Hey guys, Lucy here. I'm just taking a little break from filming to grab a coffee and also to answer some of your questions from our Instagram post the other day. So we had one of those ask me anything things, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea, but hey, I promised I'd record you the answers, so here they are. So if you know me, you know I'm absolutely not a fan of waffle. So let's dig straight in, shall we? We've got one from Frosty K987, the first one. What is your favorite tool? And this is actually quite a difficult question because I'm looking around here and I'm going, I love you all. I really do. So I'm a toolaholic. It's not a good thing, but I really am. But my ultimate tool, and probably the one that I've got the most value from over the years, it's not actually a tool, but it's magnification. And these are my Abrera glasses. And these are 2.3 times magnification. They make you look like a total rock star when you're wearing them, right? Pretty sexy. But there's also a pair that are by Zeiss, and I'm not sure about this, but I think they're pretty much the same thing. But these things, they're about 500 British pounds, bloody expensive, but I use them absolutely every day. So it's not a tool, but definitely the one thing I could never live without. Next one. What do I love most about being a jeweler? This is actually a really difficult one because I have to say, I love it all. I couldn't honestly imagine doing anything else with my life. But the best parts, I mean, I love the problem solving. I love all that kind of side of things, getting to play with fire, playing with tools, calling it a job. But I think the best part has to be getting parcels of gems through the mail. It's like freaking Christmas Day as you open up these parcels and you get to call that work. That is a pretty amazing deal. Okay, so one from Catalina Carrera Jewellery. Are you always as full of energy as you seem to be? I'm a bit of a coffee monster. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone in the studio wants to kill me on a regular basis, but for the most part, I'm pretty psycho, to be fair. Cheers to being psycho. Alrighty, next question from Dave Z72. What kind of jewellery do you have the most fun making? Probably the ones that involve most fire. But seriously, I love a good challenge, and it's something that I don't get to do enough right now while I'm making the classes. But you know, I've made some pretty spectacular pieces in the past, and it's always an absolutely crazy emotional roller coaster when you're making these, and you have this brilliant idea to start with, and then you're like, oh my God, it's not working, what have I done? And then you get to this stage where things kind of level out, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, almost finished. And that feeling, when it goes boom, it's unbeatable. So I'd say probably my favorite are the real super high-end platinum, diamonds, sapphires, you know, big cocktail rings, you know, stuff that really challenges you and kind of breaks your heart halfway through before lifting you up at the end. Okay, so one now from one of my favorite people in the world, Rella. Thanks, Rella. Hola. What is the favorite piece I've ever made? Oh, actually, anything for my mom. So cheesy, but I love making for my mom because she loves everything. I mean, she doesn't actually wear jewellery, and neither do I for that matter, clearly. But she's just like me. She likes to just have it and look at it and appreciate it for what it is rather than actually bother wearing it. But I do love making for my mom. On to the next one. Where did I learn my craft? Oh, this is a great one, and this is from Janello01. I have been so lucky to learn from some amazing teachers. So I started out in, oh my God, it's probably about 15 years ago now, and I went to my local art centre and, you know, took a few classes. Nothing too exciting, and my designs were absolutely horrendous, like, oh, nothing you've ever seen before. And after that, I decided that yes, you know, I'd already got my gemology qualification, but you know what? I actually want to be a jeweller. And so then I started researching, and I found this absolutely amazing school, and it's in the US, and you can still sign up there for classes now. And that's called New Approach School for Jewelers, and I think it's in Tennessee right now. But I had it in my mind that I had to go there, and it took me a year to make it. You know, saving up all the money for that and whatnot, but it was spectacular. You know, it's very much traditional skills that you really, really need. You know, again, no waffle, just like boom, 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 super active every single day. And it just attracted some absolutely amazing, you know, people from around the world, from around the US. And I'm friends with a lot of people that I took that class with, still to this day, 15 years on. So absolutely, that was life-changing. I've also taken some super cool classes with, again, some amazing jewelers. Alexandra Sidrov, Chris Plouffe, I took a Makumi class with him, that was incredible. Fabrizio Acquafresca, I did chasing and repoussé with him. So I have done a lot of individual classes, and to be honest, once the whole COVID shit show calms down, I really want to go and learn from even more masters, because I think we should never stop learning. There's more, sorry, I'm totally waffling now. But then, so that was when I was living in the US, and then I moved back to the UK, and when I was in the UK, I discovered that I need to get a degree, because my idea was that I didn't want to stay in England, to be perfectly honest. It's too bloody cold. And if I want to get out of England, I needed a degree. I'd never bothered with that. I mean, there's not really that much need, to be fair. So I went and studied for 3 years at the Birmingham School of Jewellery in the Jewellery Quarter, which was amazing. I mean, I was a real miserable cow at the time because I was going through a divorce. But looking back, it was an absolutely fabulous experience. But if you are thinking about going to university for the practical skills, you might want to rethink that. Universities, you know, it's not about hand-holding, it's not about step-by-step, it's about really forcing you to think for yourself. And for that, and for the design skills that I learned there, it was absolutely spectacular. Not to mention, there's bloody amazing pubs in Birmingham. It's a fantastic place to be based, especially if you like a beer or two. I'm just thinking now, did I take any more classes while I was in Birmingham? Oh, that's it. I took the Gemological Association of Great Britain. I took their gemology diploma as well, which is, you know, taking a gemology diploma program, whatever. It's really solid background for anything to do with jewellery. So if you do ever get a chance to do anything gemology-wise, I absolutely recommend it. I think I've waffled enough on this one, haven't I? All right, and next question from James Lamb. Hola, James. What did you do for employment before becoming a jeweller? Oh my God, so much stuff. Well, let's start at the very beginning. I am not a very good employee, I can tell you that. I don't stay put for long, and I get really, really itchy feet. So I started off leaving school at 17. I decided, screw this. I want to go out into the big wide world. So to start with, telemarketing. Horrendous, don't do it. Then I found a nice little happy job working as a legal secretary. Fantastic, really enjoyed that, you know, as much as you can enjoy that kind of work, but it was a great, great office, amazing people, so I did enjoy that. And then itchy feet kicked in, so I moved to Northampton in England, and then I started working for a company called Avon Cosmetics. You've probably heard of them, I guess. So I started out as an events organizer for them, and that was fantastic. It meant like regular trips to Ireland, basically on piss-ups, to be perfectly honest, but it was organizing events for Avon ladies over in Ireland, and it was just an absolute blast. Ireland, I love you, I miss you so bad. It was so much fun. So after events, then I got busy in the jewelry department in Avon, and I worked as a jewelry buyer, sourcing all sorts of stuff around the globe. So that was probably my first introduction to actually working with jewelry. God, I'm waffling a lot. After that, I moved to the Philippines, and then I studied to get my GIA, graduate gemologist. Didn't really work there. I was a bit of a lady of leisure. It was lovely. Then after that, I moved to the US and got a job as a salesperson in a jewelry shop. And ever since then, that was it. Every other job I had was working as a jeweler. And I have been pretty lucky. I've managed to work in, you know, the US, Australia, the UK, Malaysia. But all that time since then, since probably been 25 years old, I've been working in jewelry. Alrighty, next question. This one's from Darshi Jewellery. What do I miss most about home? Strawberry beer. Of course, my mom, my friends. I don't miss the cold at all. I absolutely hate the cold. But yeah, mostly, to be honest, just my family. And it's been really hard with COVID because I was supposed to go back, well, I was supposed to go back at the beginning of last year, and that didn't happen. And then I wanted to go for my mum's 70th birthday, and then that didn't happen. And then I thought, well, maybe I can get back for my nan's 100th birthday. Yes, my nan's really 100 years old, and I didn't make it for that either. So hopefully this year is my chance to get home. Okay. What's my favourite shape of gravers? Onglet. No question at all. I love the onglet because you can do so much with them. What's the most expensive but worth it tool that you can buy as a mid-level jeweler? And that's from Jeans and Sneakers. Okay, two things. Okay, as I've already said, Abreras. There you go. Definitely 100% recommend these. The second one, probably something like a GRS Benchmate. That's absolutely fantastic as well. Fordham Hammer handpiece, they help no end. Decent rolling mill, Durston or Pepe, I love both those brands. Oh my God, sorry, I've just given you an entire shopping list. But if I had to pick one, Abreras. Can I do a wax carving working class? Personally, no, because I suck. But I am going to try and find someone to do one for you. So hey, if you're an expert wax carver out there and you know how to operate video cameras, get in touch. How do I make odd-shaped bezels, i.e. crescent moon? And that's from Leno Rose. Pretty much the same as I would make any bezel, just by forming the wire around the stone. And if you're doing something with fine silver, really thin gauge, you can just do that by hand, just, you know, bend it around the stone. And then if you're using heavier gauge bezel, then you can take a look at just using pliers to do exactly the same. But the key thing is when you're doing anything like that, you really have to look at the shape of the stone and the shape that you're forming with your pliers as you actually do that. I mean, it's not rocket science, to be honest, but it really does need a lot of focus. Like, you look at your stone and you go, okay, there's a bend there, and then you try and replicate that bend in the metal. It really is as simple as that, but it ain't that simple when it comes to practice. And that really is what you need for these things. It's just to practice, you know. Don't necessarily practice bending the shapes in, you know, heavy gauge silver. Practice with a bit of copper first, you know. Make 10 freaking bezels for one crescent moon shaped stone, and I promise you, you will definitely have the hang of it. Okay. Do you work with your husband? And that is from Unmarked Industries. Yes, I do. My husband is also my business partner. Sean takes care of probably a lot of you guys. You probably know you get a lot of emails from a random guy called Sean. That is my husband. He's Malaysian and the love of my life. So yeah, he's a lawyer by trade, which is fantastic. So he takes care of all that side of things, as well as a lot of the website stuff as well. I also have two other business partners. You've probably seen Venice, you know, posting her amazing drawings. And then Neo is our website guru, so absolutely amazing guy, and he's helping us a lot with the new website that we're building, that I promise is coming very soon. So yeah, that's that. Okay, from at jbd.nz, what's your favorite metal to work with and why? 100% platinum. Oh my God, it's such a beautiful metal to work with. It's so dense, you can get such detail, and it doesn't break like silver might break. You might, you know, with silver you can break a prong off something super easily if you cook too far through it. Ask me how I know. But with platinum, it's a really nice, dense, strong metal, and it requires a really hot flame for soldering, but once you get the hang of that and the brightness, it's so much easier than silver because the heat stays where you put it. It's really, you know, it's not a very conductive metal at all. So if I want to solder a prong onto, you know, a setting, I can do that without worrying about melting the other prongs or, you know, reflowing the solder on the other prongs. So 110% platinum all the way for me. Alrighty, so next one from Lucy Jewellery Designs. How did you end up where you are in the world? Well, that is a long bloody story, so I'll just backtrack just a couple of years. But I was working in Australia for this absolutely fantastic jewellery company that specialises in South Sea pearls. They actually, you know, grow their own South Sea pearls. Absolutely amazing operation. And I was doing that in a little town called Darwin, which was great fun, but a little heavy on the liver, if I'm perfectly honest. My God, everyone drinks a lot there. Probably some of the most fun times I've had in my life, but I was a little concerned for the old liver, and the itchy feet started to kick in. And then someone offered me a job here in Malaysia teaching at a local college. And I'm like, well, I don't really have any teaching experience. I don't know what I'm doing with this, but why not? And unfortunately, the school didn't really care that I didn't have teaching experience, but I thought, what the hell, we'll just go for it. So that's it. I just moved to Malaysia and started teaching at the local college. And to be fair, probably the first 6 months, I really must have sucked because I did not have a clue what I was doing. But I finally learned about all these things called lesson plans and blah, blah, blah. And then I kind of got into the swing of things and enjoyed it a lot more after that. But, oh my God, office politics are a nightmare. And it just got to the point where I said, enough is enough. I've had enough, like begging for new tools for my students, or trying to get this, or even just getting some chairs fixed. It was a total drama. And I just said, you know what, enough is enough. I don't need this shit in my life. And so that's when I decided to open up our own little studio in Kuala Lumpur and start running the in-person classes. And yeah, then everything just kind of moved on from there, to be honest. It's been a crazy ride, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Okay, so next question. Do you listen to music while you work? And if yes, what do you listen to? Oh my God, it's the cheesiest shit. I love Michael Jackson, Billy Joel, Queen, anything. But to be fair, most of the time these days, I'm on like a massive learning curve on trying to understand how to build websites and, how to edit videos and blah, blah, blah. So for the most part, I'm usually listening to a podcast on something that's business related. And yeah, that's pretty much my life right now, podcasts. But it's kind of cool, so I wouldn't change it. This one's brilliant. From Old Moon, Elizabeth. Does Howie miss me? Howie, where are you, buddy? Howie. Howie definitely misses you. He's in here somewhere. He's the only one that's allowed. Come on, come on. He's the only one that's actually allowed in here when I do any filming. Come on, sausage. Come on. Hey, there you go. Come here. Come here. So, yes, Elizabeth, Howie misses you a lot. He says hello. Are you going to look at the camera? He says no. He loves his mama. Don't you? Hey? Hey? But yeah, next time you're here, I'm still going to keep my eye on you. You're not stealing my dog. Oh, Jesus, Howie, you're such a little mush. All right, down you go. Okay, oh, this one's a nice one. When do I predict it's going to be safe to take international students for in-person classes again? Bloody hell, it's such a drama, isn't it? I really miss having that bustling studio. It's just really, really quiet now here. I mean, we've even stopped taking on members, from Malaysia, where we just used to have everyone just coming into the studio and hanging out and making stuff, because every few weeks it was like, no, lockdown, no, lockdown. So in the end, we just had to kind of refund everyone and say, I'm really sorry, but we just can't even think about this right now. It's so crazy, and our government is not the best organized in the world, I'll be perfectly honest. But I hope within maybe a year, maybe a bit more. But the good thing is, I and everyone else on the team, we don't necessarily want to stay in Kuala Lumpur. We want to move to the beach. So hopefully by the time we are able to open back up again, we're going to be based near a beautiful beach somewhere, lots of lands, really nice outside dining area, of course a kick-ass studio. But yeah, a year or two, I want to be living that dream on the beach and then get everyone over. So, but hey, for now, just got to keep dreaming, right? Okay, so gonna have to quit it with the questions there. I have a PT session in about 5 minutes or so I have to get my ass in gear and ready for that. But I actually really enjoyed this. I didn't think I would. I'm kind of a little bit shy about getting in front of cameras and just waffling, but it was good fun. So I promise we will do it again sometime. But in the meantime, I am off to work on some gains. Alrighty, catch you later, guys.